The life of a Taurus has never been a race of speed. It is a journey of deep roots, of quiet earth, of a soul that ripens with the passing years, like a fruit held gently by the sun and wind of many seasons, until it becomes tender and sweet. For Taurus, turning 40 is not growing old. It is the moment when the silent seeds you have carried for decades finally crack open and bloom into proud, golden flowers. Today, you will discover 20 wondrous reasons that reveal why the true life of a Taurus begins at 40. Some reasons will feel like truths you have always known, but never spoken aloud. Some will touch the tender places you have hidden deep inside the quiet chambers of your heart. And especially, reason number 2 will surprise you with the gentle yet unshakable strength it carries. So if you are a Taurus or love a Taurus, remember this: your story does not end at 40. It is only beginning to unfold into the most beautiful version it was ever meant to become. Before we begin, share your zodiac sign and birth date in the comments. I love reading the journeys of others, the small flames, the long stories, the quiet lights each person carries. Now, let us begin. Reason 20. No longer apologizing for being slow, but proud of living deeply. 40 arrives to Taurus like a soft, liberating breath. In the past, you once rushed to match the speed of the world, once felt wrong, once felt lost simply because you weren't as fast as others. You apologized for thinking longer. You felt ashamed for changing more slowly. You wondered whether you were falling behind. But after losses, after hurried paths, after trusting the wrong people, you suddenly see: moving slowly is not weakness. It is how you listen to your soul. Others run to reach the destination. You walk to understand the path. Others change out of fear of being late. You change because your heart has ripened. At 40, you understand that a field cannot grow in a single season, and neither can a human being. You walk slowly to see yourself clearly, to keep what is kind, to release what is toxic, to give love and peace a place to take root. And because of that, every decision you make carries depth, responsibility, and true value for the community. You choose to act with kindness, to live sustainably, to love with sincerity. When you are no longer in a hurry, you begin to inspire others that living slowly is not falling behind. It is walking rightly. The 40s of a Taurus are not a late beginning, but the moment when the universe finally aligns with the rhythm of your heart. Reason 19. Once and for all, Taurus finally understands their own worth. In their younger years, Taurus often loves with their whole heart, works until they are drained, gives far more than they receive, only to discover that they have been trying to prove their value in places that were never deserving of it. But turning 40 arrives like a soft yet piercing awakening. You do not need to be chosen to be worthy. You are worthy even when you stand alone. You no longer chase after the approving gaze of others. You no longer cling to relationships that exist only out of obligation. You no longer take the blame for stories in which you were never wrong. Instead, the 40-year-old Taurus begins to live as someone who has finally seen the light within themselves. You know you deserve respect, kindness, and genuine love. Not the kind that makes you shrink, but the kind that allows you to bloom. And the most beautiful thing, the worth you rediscover is not selfish. It becomes a lantern for the world. You treat others with greater fairness. You build relationships that endure. You send out a message of self-respect, of never trading your soul just to please anyone. You teach others this truth: a person who knows their own worth cannot be bought, cannot be controlled, and cannot be made small. At 40, Taurus stops seeking worth. You become that worth, steady, enduring, shining like real gold glowing through the fire of trials. Reason 18. The quiet magnetism. A light born only after many seasons of storms. At 40, Taurus steps into a kind of allure that no longer comes from appearance or words, but from the strength that time has carved into their being. You once loved too fast, trusted too fast, hurt too fast, then healed in silence. Those years created an enchanting pull, a peace so gentle that others feel drawn toward you, feel safe to confide, feel comfort simply by being in your presence. You no longer strain to be interesting. You no longer need to raise your voice to be heard. Your steadiness speaks for you. When you enter a room, people sense certainty in every step, warmth in every smile, serenity in every breath. It is the kind of magnetism only those who have collided with life many times can carry. The 40-year-old Taurus knows how to listen with the whole heart, how to see without judging, how to be present without taking the spotlight. You make others feel safe to be themselves, and that is one of the rarest forms of beauty. This magnetism is not meant to lure just anyone toward you, but to draw in what is right. True people, deep connections, sincere opportunities. You become the one others seek when their world falls apart, because they know you have walked through ruins without losing yourself. And that is exactly what makes Taurus one of the most beautiful imprints of adulthood. Reason 17. No longer bending yourself to fit the world, but allowing the world to come to the truest version of you. The younger years of a Taurus are often a long season of trying to fitting into the family, into work, into relationships that never truly understood you. You once tried to shrink yourself so others could feel comfortable, hid pieces of your nature to avoid conflict, softened your voice just to keep the peace. But 40 arrives like a threshold. You realize that every time you make yourself smaller, your heart tightens. Every time you try to fit, you lose the true voice of your soul. And then you stop. You stop seeing yourself as the problem. You stop apologizing for your strength, your firmness, your dignity, your need for quiet and peace. You begin to live exactly as you are, calm but unwavering, simple but profound, steady but deeply compassionate. When you stop forcing yourself to blend into the world, something strange and beautiful happens. What is meant for you begins to find you. People who value honesty, relationships that are healthy, opportunities aligned with your spirit. At 40, Taurus no longer asks, "How do I make people like me?" but smiles softly and wonders, "Who is worthy of entering my life?" This is not pride. This is the maturity of someone who finally understands. You were not born to fit the world will expand to embrace those who dare to live in harmony with their own soul. Reason 16. When money is no longer a fear, but becomes a tool for building a meaningful life. Taurus has understood the value of stability since youth. You once worried about every coin, saved every bit just to feel safe, feared risk, feared lack. Money was a fortress, a place you leaned on to breathe calmly. But at 40, your relationship with money transforms completely. Money is no longer a burden or a shadow of anxiety. It becomes a tool, a companion, a vessel through which you shape a kinder life for yourself and for others. You begin to see that true security never comes from numbers in an account, but from the way you steward your life, spending with intention, creating lasting value, using money for experiences, for peace, for health, helping someone when your heart whispers that it is time. At 40, Taurus knows to invest in things that never lose their worth: wisdom, skills, healthy relationships, sacred moments with family. Money no longer controls you. You guide it. You use it to do good, to build foundations for those who come after you, to spread the steadiness and kindness you gathered from years of struggle. This is the noble social value understood only by mature souls. When someone understands money with clarity, they do not grow rich alone, they lift the lives that need a place to lean on. And Taurus, at 40, becomes exactly that place. Reason 15. When the body is no longer a battlefield, but becomes a garden you tend to each day. In the restless years of youth, Taurus may have chased after work, responsibility, and the needs of others, forgetting that their own body was quietly holding everything together. You once stayed up late, ate whatever was convenient, ignored small aches, and tried to be strong even when your body was worn to the bone. But turning 40 feels like a gentle awakening. The body is not a machine. It is your only home. You begin to listen more closely. A single ache is no longer dismissed. A weary day is no longer minimized. A nourishing meal is no longer a luxury. You understand that caring for yourself is not selfish. It is an act of responsibility toward your own life and those who love you. You choose food that nourishes rather than overwhelms. You choose movement that keeps your body supple rather than punishing it. You sleep to be reborn, not merely to meet the hours. And then, something miraculous unfolds. Your body responds with lightness, endurance, and a youthful glow many admire. At 40, you begin to radiate a very distinct kind of energy, the energy of someone who knows what matters and knows how to protect it. You remind the world that a physically healthy person is the seed of a spiritually healthy community. Taurus, with your calm awareness, becomes a living example for all who are learning to love themselves in the most whole and gentle way. Reason 14. When Taurus learns the power of the word enough and frees their life from invisible chains. The early years of a Taurus are often marked by persistence to the point of self-harm. You stayed in places where love had already run dry, kept jobs that no longer fit who you were, maintained relationships that did not honor you, simply because you feared disappointing others, feared change, feared losing your sense of safety. But at 40, you learn a profound truth. When the heart whispers, enough, the moment of rebirth has arrived. You no longer cling to things that only exhaust you. You no longer try to fix those who have no desire to grow. You no longer hold the peace in battles that were never yours. Your enough is not a sigh of defeat. It is a declaration of self-respect, a boundary drawn by a soul that finally knows the worth of its own peace. When you can say, enough, you release toxic things with grace. You walk away from places that make you smaller. You open the door for what is truly worthy to come near. And the beautiful mystery is this. When Taurus dares to let go of what was never theirs, life begins to bloom again. Enough turns you into a stronger, more sovereign, more compassionate version of yourself. Because only those who know how to protect themselves can protect others. The world needs souls like yours. Souls who know where the limits must be to avoid self-destruction, and where the threshold lies to begin the journey of healing. Reason 13. Love is no longer a storm, but the place where Taurus finally finds true serenity. Trong the younger years, Taurus loved with a heart far louder than reason. You once endured too deeply, sacrificed too much, hoped too greatly. You once blurred the line between familiarity and destiny, between passion and true compatibility, between clinging and loving. But at 40, Taurus steps into a different dimension of love, a place where storms no longer reign and only tranquility remains. You no longer seek someone who makes your heart race. You seek someone who makes your soul rest. You no longer desire a love that dazzles. You long for a love that walks with you through ordinary days and still feels beautiful. You understand now that love is not about holding on tightly, but about holding each other truthfully. No pretending to be strong, no hiding sorrow, no shaping yourself into perfection just to please someone. At 40, Taurus learns to love with greater wisdom, not chasing anyone who fails to cherish you, not holding on to those who do not wish to stay, not painting a rosy picture over what was never meant to fit. Your love becomes a gentle, ripened, soulful gift, the kind that helps both hearts grow into better versions of themselves. And this is what the world needs. A mature love that does not drain, does not frighten, but nourishes kindness, compassion, and grace. Reason 12. The steady flame becomes a direction, no longer an impulsive reaction. Taurus is an earth sign, yet in your heart there has always been a quiet fire. The passion for what you believe in, the firmness that guards your values, the burning devotion to what truly matters to you. In youth, that fire sometimes rose too quickly, pushing you toward hasty decisions, emotional reactions, and moments when you said or did something that later kept you awake in regret. But when you enter your 40s, a beautiful transformation unfolds. The fire within you no longer erupts without warning. It becomes a guiding light. You learn to temper your energy, no longer using it to battle over right and wrong, but to build, to direct, to create. You know when to speak and when to remain silent, when to persist and when to let go, when to act and when simply to breathe. The Taurus flame at 40 is a flame of wisdom, no longer burning but illuminating. It helps you see clearly the path you wish to walk, A road quiet in noise, yet rich in meaning. Modest in display, yet deep in value. The world needs souls like yours, those who can balance reason and feeling, passion and responsibility. You do not just walk the right path, you help others see theirs. At 40, Taurus no longer chases every spark. You follow only the flame that resonates with your soul, and that is when life begins to glow. Reason 11. Your career enters an unstoppable phase, because Taurus has found the wind that truly belongs to them. Taurus has always been known for perseverance, responsibility, and devoted hard work. Yet your younger years often felt like a long search. Trying this job, attempting that one, pushing yourself in environments that didn't suit you, or carrying expectations that were never yours to begin with. By 40, every scattered piece finally begins to align. You no longer try to find the right career. You become the one who is right for the career you choose. Experience sharpens you. Failure humbles you. Persistence strengthens you. And now, all three merge into a professional power few can match. You know clearly where your strengths lie. You know which environment allows you to bloom. You know the value you bring, and you no longer sell it short. At 40, Taurus speaks less but accomplishes more. You do not fight for positions. Positions come to you. You do not need to prove anything. Your results speak for you. You become the pillar, the guide, the person others trust with meaningful tasks. And most importantly, you do your work with a peaceful heart. No more invisible pressure. No more fear of mistakes. No more racing against comparisons. You work because you excel, because you love it, because you can create positive impact. At 40, Taurus's career is no longer a mountain to climb, but an old, steady hill, rooted, resilient, and full of life. Reason 10. Fewer friends. Yet friendships become deep, true, and enduring, like stone. In youth, Taurus often surrounded themselves with many kinds of connections: co-workers, drinking buddies, social acquaintances, temporary companions. You once tried to maintain wide circles because you believed the more, the merrier, or because you didn't want anyone to feel hurt if you stepped away. But 40 teaches you something profoundly honest. Not everyone who smiles at you is someone meant to walk with you to the end. And so Taurus begins a gentle purification. Not with noise, not with dramatic endings, not with demands for explanations. You simply withdraw your energy from places where sincerity no longer lives. You choose silence with those who come to you only when they need something, then disappear when you are weary. You choose distance from falseness, competition, and meaningless comparison. At 40, you no longer need a large circle of friends to feel loved. You need only a few who are true, those who know how to listen, who respect your boundaries, who guard your secrets, and who speak the truth even when it trembles. With them, your heart opens a little wider. With them, you share your tenderness, your joys, the dreams you once kept hidden. And the most beautiful part is this: you become their anchor, and they become the quiet roof sheltering your soul. In a chaotic world, the mature friendship of a Taurus feels like a sanctuary, warm, still, safe. You do not need many people, you just need the right ones. Reason 9. The body becomes a sacred temple where you learn to honor every breath. Taurus belongs to the earth element, which means your body and emotions are deeply intertwined. Yet youth often pulls you away from that truth. You once worked past your limits, stayed awake through the night to meet obligations, skipped meals to chase deadlines, or used food to soothe sorrows you did not have the strength to voice. Then 40 arrived, and you began to hear your body calling. Not a cry of pain, but a tender reminder: take care of me. I have carried you for so long. You start to see your body as a temple sacred, deserving of devotion. You eat with awareness. You move your body to feel strong, not to impress. You sleep to restore yourself, not to escape exhaustion. You learn to breathe deeply, letting tension melt away like morning mist. At 40, Taurus understands. Health is never something to be sacrificed. It is the foundation beneath everything you hope to build. And when your body is well, your mind clears, and your heart grows lighter. You can love more fully, work more meaningfully, and contribute more generously to the world around you. Caring for yourself is not an act done only for you. It is your way of telling life, I honor myself enough to become the best version of who I am meant to be. Reason 8. Living with purpose, not to be praised, but to be true. In your younger years, Taurus was easily swept into society's rigid definitions of success. The house, the car, the title, the perfect family. You worked tirelessly, sometimes so hard that you forgot to ask, do I truly want this? But at 40, a gentle awakening unfolds. You no longer live for anyone's approval. You live so that your own heart can say yes. You begin choosing everything by resonance, not appearance. A job that helps you grow, not a title to flash. A peaceful relationship, not a performance of love. A life that fits your soul, not a life that looks correct for applause. At 40, Taurus no longer chases borrowed dreams. You create your own. To live kindly, to do what you do well, to protect your energy, to bring value to those who truly need it. What makes you shine is not material success, but the harmony between your heart, your actions, and your integrity. When a Taurus lives with authentic purpose, you become a quiet lighthouse, unassuming, yet bright enough for others to feel safe in your glow. You remind the world of this truth. Living authentically is the gift you give yourself and the blessing you offer to the world. Reason 7. Learning the power of saying no, without explaining or apologizing. Since childhood, Taurus has been accustomed to pleasing others. You said yes, even when your heart was tired. You carried other people's burdens even when you were already overwhelmed. You agreed to gatherings simply because you didn't want anyone to feel disappointed. But turning 40 gives you a new kind of power. The power to say no while your heart remains soft and kind. Now, you understand that boundaries are not distance, they are clarity. You are not irritable, not harsh. You are simply honest. No, today I need to rest. No, that isn't right for me. No, I don't want to continue this relationship anymore. And the miracle is, when you say no, from a heart that finally understands itself, others respect you more. At 40, Taurus knows that every time you say no to what isn't right, you are saying yes to